Welcome to In the Garden with Laura. This is a new series designed to help you know how to create the garden of your dreams using native plants. And we want to give you the tips and the information so that you can create the garden of your dreams. Welcome to In the Garden with Laura. Today we're going to continue our discussion of shrubs and what is the best way to prune them, when to prune them, and which ones you prune how. And with me is Rose Norseth, a master gardener and somebody who's extremely knowledgeable about pruning. Rose, are there any general rules about pruning shrubs? Do they fall into categories?
Yes, they do. There are the early spring blooming shrubs, and those you prune right after they flower. Midsummer, you can...
Can you give me a couple examples of those? Like lilacs would be early azalea.
Right. Azaleas, certainly. Forsythia, of course. A plant called Caria.
And then the summer blooming would be more?
The summer blooming, you can still...
Rose of Shannon.
Yeah, Rose of Shannon. Some plants, you can cut them almost any time because they never stop.
Okay.
But there's also late blooming, and the late blooming you prune in the winter time. So early spring, you prune them right after they finish flowering. And midsummer, you can do pretty much the same, maybe, depending.
Right after they flower?
Yeah, right after they flower. Then the late blooming ones, you can wait until winter time. And winter time really means snow time.
So now, can you give me an example? We're going to go to your house for our next podcast and look at some azaleas and prune them there. But we've got some other examples here of shrubs. And can you show me how you would prune one of those? This one's an azalea.
Yeah, that one is an azalea.
So we'll put this aside for the moment. And this is just a branch from my eye. I can't tell what that is. But
this one is from a bald cypress.
okay.
And a bald cypress, generally, you're not going to prune it unless you're taking off lower limbs.
Okay.
Just to limb the thing up.
Okay. Do we have any shrubs over here? No worries.
Another azalea. This is a mountain laurel.
Okay. Now, mountain laurel is a great shrub, native to this area. Right. But obviously, a small pruners like this is not going to go through something like that.
Well, maybe yes, maybe no, because something was cut off here, and and actually this one just fell off. But if there had been damage on this, and you wanted to prune it, what you look for is a collar that's right here.
Okay.
And you do not cut into the collar, you have to cut in front of the collar. And what happened with this one is, when it broke, of course, it was too far out, and this collar has repairing liquid of some kind, and it made a big bump there.
Right.
So with this one, you can see it, you would cut it right there.
So ideally, you want to get there before it starts, cut it like that. You want to get it before it starts creating that big collar.
Right, because the collar is very important.
But if you wanted to cut this part of the wood, you'd probably take a saw.
You would, yeah, definitely take a saw for this size, and you won't do it, you don't cut it right straight across here. You go up maybe about a half an inch, and you do it at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
And the reason for that is so the rain can run off it and it won't get diseased in there.
Okay. So you essentially have 3 types of tools that you would use: the pruners, a saw, or big clippers. I have some very old and haven't been pruned for a long time, so I sometimes go out with my chainsaw to, or it's not quite a chainsaw, but whatever this is, saw, electric saw, and attack it. A gift to my husband, but I use it regularly. So that's sort of a quick overview of the pruning process.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be at Rose's house at our next vodcast.